What's up, Thrashers, and welcome back once again to the Thrash Maniac 99 YouTube channel. And I am back with yet another album review. I had a hiccup there. And this is the first review coming out this weekend, as I am talking about the latest offering from LIK, NECRO. This came out on April 18th? Yeah, 18th, on Metal Blade Records, and this is, I believe, the band's 5th studio full-length overall, maybe 4th. But yeah, this is actually my first time listening to this band in full. I've seen this name come up and about when it comes down to the underground, and for those that don't know, this is a Swedish death metal band, and, well, when you hear Swedish death metal, you typically think of one of two different sounds: Gothenburg Melodeath or Stockholm's HM2 Obsessed Death Metal. This definitely leans far more towards the Stockholm HM2 sound, but with little tiny pepperings of the Gothenburg Melodeath sound. But I would still say this is a straight up death metal album, not quite a Melodeath album. But yeah, this is my first time checking out this band. The only thing I know about this band is their vocalist and guitarist Thomas Akvik is currently a guitarist in Bloodbath, so I thought, okay, next time this band puts out something, I'll check it out, and here we are. And we kick things off with the track Deceased, and immediately you get that HM2 sizzle on the guitars, but you get these like punky galloping riffs, but there's little melodic touches here and there on the guitars, and it's very catchy. Like, I will flat out admit, across the board, on this entire album, there are some really cool hooks, and it's just a catchy album, all things considered, because it basically captures the hallmarks of everything I love about Swedish death metal, mostly the Stockholm stuff, with, like I said, little touches of the Gothenburg Melodeath aspects coming in. But then after the whole punky galloping thing, it turns straight up thrashy, like the old school Swedish death metal sound. Even like I don't know if it would be an isolated bass line, but a notable bass line, and like more machine gun riffs to kind of add a little bit more thrash to the mix. And I'll just go ahead and talk about the lead work. Like, the lead work on this album's mostly about the melody. Like, they're more like melodic leads, but there are some parts here where it does get more shreddy, like the song Worms Inside. The solo here really gets down and into the nitty-gritty of shredding. And the song itself is mostly a big, nasty, thrashy tremolo fest. It's vicious, but then you even get like a really cool mid-tempo section that almost feels like Gatecreeper to an extent. And top to bottom, when it comes down to the tempo shifts, they do them very, very well. It can go from being like super mega thrashy to like really cool grooves and like lumbering sections. Like in the song there is a more lumbering groove that comes in towards the end of the song, but the song as a whole starts off with more darker riffs, and then it gets into like more mid-tempo rockers, dare I say, kind of like Entombed's Wolverine Blues to an extent, and also a triplet chug comes in here and there. And then as far as like other tempo shifts in songs like Morgue Rat, you start off with a really cool bass line, and the song is mostly a big triplet swing and chug with little pepperings of groove and little tremolo riffs, and even some like, I guess you would say they're clean guitars that feel kind of spooky. Dare I say, this song almost feels like if Bathory wrote a death metal song. That's really how it felt, I should say. But then you even get, for one song alone, blast beats on Shred into Pieces, where it just starts off with tremolos and blasts before it goes straight into thrashiness and then like punk territory, and even some really cool grooves. I just keep seeing a dust particle flying around. But yeah, and the song itself was the shortest song of the album, Shred into Pieces. It was like almost 2.5 minutes, but man, they packed a lot in those 2.5 minutes. But for the most part, and then as we go along even further, like even the closing song, the longest track of the album, Rotten Inferno, dare I say, it's more doomy. Like, it's a death doom song because it's slower. Yeah, you get like chug and tremolos at the beginning, but then it really slows down to more death doom territory, and it's got melodies that are very murky. And then the most of the rest of the songs go for like tremolos and thrash to it. Like the song War Praise, I will flat out admit, like that song in particular felt very much like an Edge of Sanity song, like from Unorthodox or Spectral Sorrows in particular, where it's melodic tremolos with thrashy beats, but it's still very aggressive. There's even moments where it gets a little more rockin', there's some cool harmonies, and again, touches of Melodeath come in here and there on the song as well. And then even the song In Ruins brings back a little bit of that Edge of Sanity vibe with the melodies and like the slower, doomier parts before it punches you right in the face with tremolos and thrashy riffs. And even the chorus, the guitars get really melodic, which helps add more dynamic. And then the Stockholm Massacre, which, awesome title. It's a brutal nearly 3 minutes of tremolo riffs and thrashy beats, but still a melodic lead, and it even gallops along really nicely. And then the song Fields of Death, the penultimate track of the album, has some of the more evil sounding riffs, and while it's still very much fast and tremolo heavy, you still get plenty of groove. As you know, like I said, this album's mostly going for speed, but when they do change up the tempos, it does add a lot more to the songwriting. But then again, my favorite moments were when they got fast and thrashy, and that's kind of my wheelhouse when it comes to Swedish death metal. Production-wise, it's raw, but the mix is pretty well balanced. Like, even an isolated, like I said, that isolated bass line and Deceased, and even the beginning of Morgue Rat, just really cool moments where you can hear the bass in the mix. Maybe the only thing I would change about the mix, I probably would have had the kick drum turned up just by a tiny bit, because sometimes the snare kind of overpowers the drum sound. Maybe that was just upon first impression. Maybe the more listens, the more it will grow on me. But every song fucking ripped on this album, and for those reasons, I'm going to go ahead and give this 4.5 out of 5. This is definitely high up on the year-end list already, and we're not even halfway through yet. But yeah, this is a badass album. If you are a fan of the classics, Entombed, Dismember, Grave, Edge of Sanity, Bloodbath, check this out. But of course, those are just my opinions. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. But until next time, thank you for watching. Keep your horns high and your dreams wet.